I should say things have changed in some ways.
Who is the determinant of the public interest?
The more time people spend in digital worlds, the more of our lives we live there.
Intercoin, bringing power to the people. But I do want to talk generally about the economy and what you as an individual investor can do to perhaps make money for yourself. So take this as educational and informational and as ideas that you should bounce around in your head and think, oh, actually, that may be a strategy that I want to employ. And oh, that's what's been happening. So let's dive in. First of all, there are different time frames and eras that are essentially caused by central banks creating low interest rate environments and high interest rate environments. Central banks have the power to essentially raise the base interest rates. When the interest rates are low and credit money is flowing freely, consumers spend on their credit cards and businesses get loans. We've seen this in 2020, for example, where trillions of dollars were issued, not just by the government, they were issued by your local bank underwriters, giving your businesses a loan, like a PPP, payroll protection program loan, which was forgivable, that as long as they paid their employees, those loans got forgiven. And the banks could actually cancel the debts to each other that they had lent out. So the banking system originates a lot of the money that is then put out into the system for people to use. When that money is cheap and you don't need to spend a lot to repay the loans, in this case, the forgivable loans were free, but typically the loans were pretty low cost. And a lot of them were given to small businesses to rescue them, like the EIDL, the Economic Injury Disaster Loan, but also just private loans by banks. As long as the interest rates were low, people started deploying that money. And of course, there was the stimulus checks that people got in the mail. So people deployed them in all kinds of assets. One asset type was simply tokens, digital token. Now, those digital tokens, a lot of them, most of them, did not have any utility. I'm talking about tokens like SafeMoon or Everrise. With names like those, you would think, oh, it's going to the moon and it's safe and it's always going to rise. But where is that money coming from, right? That money is not coming from the same thing that Amazon does, which is selling to customers. It's not coming from people who are willing to part with their money in exchange for goods and services that satisfy their needs, okay? That's coming only from other speculators, the so-called greater fools in a developing economic bubble. Because what happens is that the early people who get in early into SafeMoon, for example, as a new thing, they get paid off with money that comes from later investors. Like to be the first to hear about Intercoin's roadmap and news? Definitely join and subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to click that little notification button so you can get updates when the next video drops and the next time we interview a legend like Noam Chomsky or Patrick Friedman. And if you would like to participate in the conversation, go to community.intercoin.app. We'd love to hear from you and about your community. This is what the project is all about. Intercoin, bringing power to the people.